On tap is week 8 of the high school basketball season as we have a pair of next-door neighbors in their own version of the crosstown shootout. It's Lakota West and Lakota East. We're here in Liberty Township. We'll get you started with the game of the week next on Chatterbox Live. Good evening from sold-out Lakota East. I'm Geoff Kim. Trace Fowler to join me in just a moment. The Firebirds are reeling in a game you saw right here on Chatterbox Live 3 nights ago. Lakota West lost its 5th in a row, losing to Hamilton 72-47. Julian Mackey had 16 for the Firebirds. Meanwhile, Alex Mangold led 3 players in double figures as the beat rolls on for Lakota East, defeating Sycamore 49-42. The Thunderhawks have won 4 of their last 5. So as we bring in Trace, the last time you and I saw the Firebirds, they were 6-2 to close out 2019. They are since winless in 2020, losing some very tough games here in January.
Yeah, they started off hot, and 2020 has not been their cup of tea so far. It's been a tough stretch for them. They played some good teams to their own fault, I guess, if you will. And then the other side of it is Julian Mackey, perhaps their best player, was out a few games, went overseas for personal reasons, came back and did play last game, and it still was a little unfortunate. But at the end of the day, East, West, it's one of those things where maybe you just throw the records out the window so far, and then they're just going to let them play.
Meanwhile, the last time you and I saw Lakota East, it was week 2. Nate Johnson was busy dropping 34 points on Sycamore. Since then, his role has changed.
Yeah, he's obviously dropped off a little bit in the scoring column since we last saw him, but he's, without question, in my opinion, still the best player on the floor. He does a lot of different things well. He's in the top 5 in the GMC in 3 different categories. And, it's going to be a situation tonight where, at the end of the day, it's 2 guys that each team's going to rely on, and that is, Nate Johnson and Julian Mackey. And the question is which one's going to come out tonight and play well? That's left to be seen, but ultimately, hopefully, it's a good contest.
Well, superstar power here in a sold-out house tonight at Lakota East between these 2 next-door rivals who are, as we understand it, literally 10 kilometers away from one another. For you and I as Americans, that's 6.2 miles. You and I could actually run that.
Yeah, well, that's being nice to me, I say. Maybe back in the day I'd be able to run that relatively easy, but for now I don't know. It's a situation that I don't know if I really want to run 6.2 miles, but nonetheless, we don't have to run it, we get to watch it.
Well, the last time these 2 teams met, it was on February 8th last year. The Thunderhawks completed a season sweep, winning at Lakota West 71-61. The Thunderhawks won in blowout fashion on December 14th, 2018 here at Lakota East, 66-35 on the strength of 61% shooting from the floor. So we're about ready to set here for the nation's anthem. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back with the starting lineups and the opening tip-off here. It's the game of the week here on Chatterbox Live. Just mere moments away from the start of this one here at Lakota East. It's East versus West tonight in a crosstown shootout between the 2 GMC rivals. Lakota East comes in with a record of 11-2. They are 7-1 in the GMC. They are all by themselves for the conference standings. Meanwhile, Lakota West at 6-7, they've dropped the last 5 in a row. They're 4-4 in the conference. And just a few weeks ago, Trace, we were talking about how they were near the top, and that game against Oak Hills that you and I saw 2 weeks ago really changed their success, and they've not won since.
Yeah, it's been a heartbreaker there at the end for them. And a game they really controlled and that they should have won. East, on the other hand, kind of had control all season long, and they've been at the top of the leaderboard, or I guess the standings, if you will, in the GMC. It'll be a good game tonight. I think West is a little better than their record.
Well, they are the top scoring team in the GMC this year. As we give you the starting lineups here in this one, first for visiting West, the Firebirds at 6-7 have Alex Afari up front. He'll run with Brady Weber and Tate Fishman. The guards are Julian Mackey and Carter Combs, and they've been a fine combination in the backcourt this year. The head coach for Lakota East is Clint Atkins in his 6th year with the program, 103-36. And here are your starters here. Jared McCorkle, Jaden Corals in the backcourt, along with Nate Johnson, one of our favorites this year. Up front, it is Caden Furman and Alex Mangold. He'll be the center tonight for the home team, the Thunderhawks. Again, as we said, should be a good one here, and as we did mention, just kind of thinking through this from a tail-of-the-tape standpoint, Lakota West is averaging just over 66 points a ball game. They are outscoring their opponents by about 5.5. Meanwhile, Lakota East at 53.5 points a ball game, but they are outscoring their opposition by nearly 12 points a contest. It really tells you, Trace, if nothing else, that defense speaks a lot of volume here, at this point of the season as we come down the stretch.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what team can kind of have their way tonight. West there for a while was running up tempo, trying to get in your face, running full court press, and kind of ran into a team, Hamilton, last week where that just didn't bode well, and they kind of backed off of that. We'll see what they decide to do tonight. Again, it's a good high school atmosphere. I don't know if I've been in an atmosphere for a regular season game quite like this.
To be perfectly honest, you and I have seen some football games that didn't have this many people.
No, that's a lot of people in here. It's hot, and this is what high school basketball is all about.
As you get the shot there, and as you're taking a look at center court, the two teams coming on out. The pivot man will be Alex Mangold at 6'7". I don't know. Actually, he won't jump center. It looks like it's going to be Caden Furman. So Furman, actually it is Mangold on your left, and Tate Fishman to your right. Tap control by the home team, and away we go here at Lakota East as they go left to right. Johnson has the ball, tosses to the near side. Furman gets a touch and returns it up high. McCorkle gets his first touch. They look inside. Furman dribbles on out. McCorkle has the ball, looking inside. Johnson low on the right, regathers himself and scores 2-0 East.
See if West can respond. It's one thing I failed to mention pregame. I think it's important for them to kind of stay in this early, right? You don't want to get yourself in a hole and start pressing with a crowd this loud. Mackey's the guy, and we'll see how his night goes as he lets one rip to start.
And he misses from 18, and here comes East back again. Johnson averaging 16.5 a ball game. When last you and I saw him, as he turns it over, he gets it back. He pumps in the lane. He kicks it out, and they'll run some offense. Mangold gets a touch. Back outside, the straight on three is good. Jared McCorkle makes it 5-0.
Ooh, nice step back.
Answer no good. Johnson the rebound. Here come the Thunderhawks into the lane. Draws the double, and he is tied up.
It's a great play by Afari. Good job of getting all ball right there and forcing a jump ball.
So on alternating possessions, it belongs to West. They'll throw in from underneath their own hoop, and they'll be addressed by token full court pressure. Here's Mackey with the ball at the elbow, looking for the back door, throw it away. Here's Johnson up the near side, into the lane. He draws the crowd. He drew a foul. He might have gotten away with steps on that one as East leads at 5-0. Fouls on Alex Afari. That is his first.
There's an open look. He can shoot it from out there.
No good for Alex Mangold, who's been their leading scorer their last couple of games. Here comes West into the lane, and Carter Combs has a shot misdirected out of bounds.
Nothing more exciting for a student section than see a ball get thrown out of bounds for you right in front of you.
2 minutes gone by here in this one. 5-0. Mackey out on the corner. He's checked by Jared McCorkle. Lost it out on the baseline, and it's turned over. So some star power tonight here. Two of the five best scorers in the conference are in this game.
That they are, and it's pretty evident when you watch the game, who those guys are. They kind of stand out like a sore thumb. But we'll see again if there's an X factor tonight.
Here's Johnson stuck on the double. Mangold to the free throw line. Back outside, Coles. Furman tosses. Johnson stuck on the double on the near side. Here's McCorkle. Mid-post, stuck. Turns around again, and got away. Coles will reset at the center jump circle. He dribbles, he draws, he pumps, 10 feet away.
Great dribble drive by Coles and got himself a steady jump shot. And just like that, as I mentioned, you don't want to jump in a hole. 7-0. Quick timeout for West.
With 5:14 left to play here in this opening quarter, in this sold-out ball game between neighborhood rivals in a crosstown shootout of their own. And I got to tell you, coming in, Trace, just the fact that as you and I were both walking in the door today, the fact that you needed a ticket, that if you didn't already have a ticket, you weren't coming in. That's how popular this game is tonight.
Yeah, anytime you see big signs out front that say sold out or not sold out, you know it's a big game. And then secondarily to that, you know, look at the students that bought tickets to this game. We're talking, I mean, they are deep. They are deep and they are loud, and it's impressive. It's really impressive.
7-0 here to start the ball game. And Tracy, the last few games that you and I have been a part of, and I can't speak for the one that you and Reed had on Tuesday,
sure,
but we had seen opening spurts by one team only for the other team to catch up somewhere in the mid-quarter. Here's West. The drive by Afari is taken away. Caden Furman, stop and go. Back outside, McCorkle thought about three. He'll put it on the deck. Check by Julian Mackey. Beg your pardon, it's Afari up top. Johnson has the ball. Back to the center jump circle. Tate Fishman has the assignment on him, giving him arm's length. 4:30 to play here in this opening quarter. Mangold dumps it inside for Johnson. Beauty of a post entry.
Good pass and a really good job of posting up right there by Johnson. He knew once he spun, Mangold seen the spin and immediately got it to him. An easy lay-in for Johnson.
Mackey on the stop and go, lost it. Here
got
come
a number.
The Thunderhawks. Up ahead. Here's Johnson, and it's just past his reach. Otherwise, that might have been two more.
Yeah, might have been a fancy two, that's for sure.
9-0 to start out this ball game for the Thunderhawks. And they are roaring here in Lakota East. Mackey gets token pressure. Now he draws a crowd. He lost the handle. He gets it back across half court. Now into the lane. Drops it off. Afari lost the handle. And it's picked up. Brady Weber mid-post and breaks the drought.
There you go.
Weber averaging 6.5 a ball game, 9-2. Johnson has Fishman defending him and tossing to the far side. So we see Jaden Coles, and now back over for Johnson. 3.5 to play in a quick-moving first quarter. Behind a Mangold screen, drives the lane, stuck on the double, throws it on the skip. Here's Coles for three. He knocks it down.
East can be hard to beat if guys like Cole and McCorkle and maybe even Mangold hit shots from outside.
Here's a three back the other way, no good. Johnson the rebound. 12-2, a double-digit lead with just over 3 to play. Behind a Mangold screen to the rack. He missed the shot. Brady Weber the rebound, and here comes West down by 10. Here's Mackey to the hole. He missed the shot. He'll go to the line.
Wow. Back and forth, back and forth. And unfortunately for West, it's a lot of fourth for East as they're putting the ball in the hoop, and West is having a little bit of issues here to start this thing off.
Caden Furman picks up the personal. That's his first. Here's Mackey to the hoop, and he gets the first. Julian Mackey is an outstanding scorer. He's the conference's best right now at 21.5 per ball game. He came in at 58 for 69 at the charity stripe this year. He hits on the first. At 84%, he makes them both. And he's going to try to help get West back on this long road back. It's 12-4. Coles on a high-low, drops it off. The shot is missed by the newcomer, Charlie Kenrich. He'll kick it out. Here's a three straight on! Caden Furman with the trifecta, 15-4. Here's a drive afar. He is guilty of steps.
That he is.
So this has been all Thunderhawks since the very beginning of this one. 11-point lead here in this contest, 15-4. And there you see the student section for Lakota East. Here's the entry. Coles against personal pressure. Now stuck on the double. Throws out front. Kenrich. The kick out. Furman dancing into the lane. The kick out for three on the baseline, and it's airmailed. Nathan Adkins into this ball game. Missed the shot. And we got a hold coming on up.
Trevor Howard getting a little excited there. Gets in the game and put his hands on Mackey, and they be interested to see how they play, kind of the hand check thing, right? Sometimes we go to games and they call it tight. Sometimes they let them play. First hand check of the night, they call a foul on.
Mackey picked up by Howard, the aforementioned Fowler. Here's a three off the left wing, no good. Caden Furman the rebound. Here come the Thunderhawks up by 11. He puts on some speed, he kicks it out. Kenrich has the ball, and they'll return it up high, and they'll play a little motion around the arc. A little side to side. Howard tosses down deep in the pocket, and it's out of bounds. You see the reemergence of Nate Johnson, who we saw score 34 in our game here against Princeton back in week 2.
Yeah, we did, and when we left, we couldn't have thought of Nate Johnson in any higher regard. And then we've seen some other guys. I've seen Mackey. First time I seen him, I started to question whether or not perhaps he wasn't the best player in the GMC.
And he may be, the way he scores without having to take shots. And when I say that, that's by free throws and the ball's taken away. Beg your pardon, it's Malachi Irby. He throws it down into the paint. The shot is up, no good. We got a foul.
Been tight so far tonight in regards to just how well East has played defense on West. They really haven't gotten any easy looks, no easy baskets, and one of those situations where a three right now would just kind of maybe break a little bit of this momentum. There it is.
Here's a three off the left wing. Knock it down. You called it. Tate Fishman.
That's a big shot, and it's just one that perhaps can kind of get the momentum back on West Side. You look back up there, and you're really not down by a whole lot.
1 minute to play here in this first quarter. Here's Johnson at the free throw line, and now we'll opt outside. Adkins gets a touch. Plays Furman.
It's a situation without the shot clock. I don't expect them to be able to run it all the way down to the last shot, but it looks like they're going to get it going the other way.
Now, whatever it was off the ball. With 43.3 left to play here in this opening quarter, that's number 2 against Furman. Furman will take a seat. As Clint Adkins freely substituting here in this first quarter and wind up, his team is up by 8 points.
Absolutely, and I mentioned the three ball kind of getting you back into it. I don't know if they're going to take the last shot, if that's even possible with the defense that East has been playing, but a three ball puts you just down by 5 going in the second quarter, which have to be a blessing.
2-3 zone. They throw it down low and threw it away. Here's a 2-on-2, now 3-on-2. Johnson looking to get back, and that pass for Kenrich is a little errant, and it's out of bounds with 25.6 left to go in the quarter.
Yeah, a little sloppy play there on both sides, kind of telegraphing a pass, assuming that it might be there, a situation that the play says it might be there, but certainly wasn't there for East. And then on the back end of that, one too many passes.
Bane Allen will trigger in from underneath his own hoop. See him with the number 12, 6'2", a senior. He tosses in.
The other night, West did not take the last shot in the half. Hamilton ended up getting a 3 because of it. We'll see if they don't learn their lesson and ensure they take the last shot here.
Mackey kicks it on out. Fishman into the lane, throws it up, and one! Here comes West.
Here they come, and I mentioned the three ball. Sometimes perhaps the old-fashioned three will work just as fine. And again, you're not out of the woods quite yet. Free throw puts you down by 5, as I mentioned, which would be a blessing going into the second quarter the way this thing started. But there's still 10 seconds left, and that Nate Johnson might be able to hit a shot at the end of the clock here.
That's a first on Mangold. 5 team fouls against the home team. Fishman, good. He's got 6 quick points, and he's kept West in the game at 15-10.
Big defensive possession here for West for momentum purposes.
Johnson will probably take the final shot. 18 feet away, no good, and time is run out here in quarter number 1. Your score after 1 period, it's 15-10. It's the game of the week here on Chatterbox Live. $15 to 10's your score as we come into quarter number 2 along with Trace Fowler. I'm Geoff Kim here. Thanks for joining us here for the game of the week here on Chatterbox Live. And if nothing else, a saving grace for West right now, a 6-0 run to end things in quarter number 1.
Yeah, it was getting pretty decimate there in the first start of this game, but they crawled their way back, and we'll see if they can continue that momentum here in the second quarter.
Ball will come in from Howard from the sideline. Nate Johnson will handle the point forward on this team. He throws it away. It may be saved by Johnson in the backcourt. He'll retrieve it. So Mackey, and speaking of superstars, one tried to take away from the other. Howard playing. Mangold. Keeping the dribble alive. Checked by Bain Allen. Throwing it down low for Johnson. 1-on-1 down on the block. He turns. He shoots from 15. It's no good. Mackey the rebound.
Yeah, great defense right there by Fishman.
Mackey on the stop and go, and he was fouled on the way to the hoop.
Yeah, just too quick right now. And really, Trevor Howard has no choice but to put his hands on him, and if they're going to call that hand check tonight, it's going to be tough to stop Howard from getting to the basket. Or, excuse me, Mackey from getting to the basket.
I understood. So Howard picks up his second. That's 6 here in this first half against the home team. And if there's one point of discontentment right now for Lakota East, it is the number of fouls. Mackey, a straight on 3, and wave off the hoop. He traveled.
Yeah, a little extra step. One that wouldn't be called probably at some upper levels. I would definitely tell you the NBA, that is definitely free game. Otherwise, there's a little guy down in Houston that might get called for a lot of travels if that's the case. But I digress, and here we go.
Here's Johnson with 4 points in this ballgame. He has it between the circles. He drops it off. Coles has it. Deep along the sideline. He comes back outside. He's checked by Mackey, and Mackey giving him everything he can handle. He turns him over.
It's absolutely a great call. Ball kind of got stuck there on his leg for just a short moment, and as soon as he picked it back up, started dribbling again, and rightfully called a double dribble.
15-10. What was once an 11-point ball game is down to 5 as Mackey will try to make it a one-possession contest. Mackey on the stop and go. Checked by McCorkle, and we've got another foul. No urgent timeout.
I think they're going to call some kind of turnover here, maybe a travel. Double dribble, carry.
Well, apparently it is a carry, and it is turned over unforced. Johnson with the ball. A minute and a half gone by here in the second quarter. He gets a high screen from Mangold. Top of the key. The dump inside, Mangold, one-on-one. Oh, they're going to shoot over Bay now, and he draws the foul. Alex Mangold has been something here in the last couple of ball games. Averaging about 9 points a contest and 6 boards. And the foul again, as we had mentioned. Well, they're going to call it on. They put up Dudukovic.
That's right.
Here's a rejection. Johnson, now here's a kick out. Here's a 3 attempt, no good. And Jaden Coles misses the shot from the corner.
Dudukovic is lucky they didn't give him 2 fouls. He shoots a 3, no good.
No good. And the back tap, Dudukovic got it momentarily, but it's in the hands of Johnson. And Mackey's in his way right at half court, and we've got a foul.
A terrible foul by Mackey. You don't want to pick up too many, as he did foul out last game against Hamilton, but a situation where, numbers weren't in your favor, and I don't hate that foul.
So Mackey picks up his first, just the third team foul against the visiting West Firebirds. So we see the emergence of Trent Lloyd into this ball game for West. He's a 5'9" freshman wearing the number 14. Johnson will handle, and the offensive have gone cold here in the second period. Mangold will set the screen. Johnson at the free throw line. And the kick out to the side.
Good
they
post
dump
entry.
Inside for Mangold. Wrap around, back outside to the corner on the skip. Here's a drive by Johnson. He dumps it off, and here's a foul as McCorkle received it, and as he was going up, he drew the contact.
Yeah, I think they're going to get a Fowler on the foul here. We'll see. That is going to be the case. Kind of got him with the body, but I'd love to see Mangold catch the ball that deep in the post. Use your size to your advantage and make a nice quick move and go up for an easy bucket perhaps, but he might not have felt it there. But anytime you catch the ball that deep in the post, you're hard to stop.
The entry goes to Johnson. Has one-on-one out on the wing. Plays Mangold. Down towards the short corner. He dribbles back outside. Johnson. He angles the pass out to Coles. Coles spins in the lane. He throws it up and in.
Good move by Coles inside there. Got a little bit of space and utilized his body to his advantage and went up for two.
Averaging about 4.5 a ball game. He's got 5 in this contest, 17-10. Dane Allen underneath. He lays it in.
It's a tough bucket right there underneath. Mangold all over him and somehow squeaked it in there.
Coming up on 5 minutes left to play here in this first half, 17-12. McCorkle has it top of the key. You remember the last time we were here watching East, he had a jumper to end the first half right at the buzzer. Here's Mangold for three. A high arcing shot, no good. The rebound comes down to Johnson. He whips it inside Mangold, nearly traveled, and he got away with one.
Yeah, as West tries to claw back into this thing, that really, is kind of an inexcusable offensive rebound. Nobody was in the lane there for East. Ball comes off. Anytime you get a long shot, you're going to get a long rebound more than likely, and the ball carried off almost out to the three-point line as East picked up really another possession, and Mangold finds himself at the line.
He makes the first. Alex Mangold this season shoots about 53.5% at the charity stripe. He made the first. He got them both. As we had mentioned, he'd had the team lead in scoring the last couple of nights. 19-12, 4.5 to play in this half. Got a foul.
Looks like we got ourselves into the bonus 1-1 for the Firebirds.
Fishman will go to the line where he's 7 for 11 on the season. That's 63.5%. Averaging just about 3 points a contest. First one is up and good. Fishman's been keeping the team in the ballgame. He's got 7 points in this contest. Well above his average. And you see the student section there, but he gets them both. I have to tell you, Trace, the orange is a real good look for the home team student section.
You like that?
Love that. Here's a drive and a score by Coles.
No pun intended with the reference there to the Viking quarterback either. Kirk Cousins, of course.
Seven-point ball game here, just under 4 to play. So they run motion on the outside. Johnson will pick up the ball handler. Fishman keeps it alive on the deck. He rolls past Johnson. He throws up a runner, and he's guilty of steps.
Man.
Well, there was a reason why he got past Nate Johnson, and that's because he got an extra in there.
Perhaps. I was getting ready to mention McCorkle is doing a great job on Mackey, really away from the ball, keeping the ball away from him.
21-14 is your score. Johnson is checked by Tate Fishman. He gets a high screen from Mangold. He drives into the lane. He turns around. He missed the bunny. Mangold puts it back. No good. And a rebound and a foul. as Brady Weber corralled the ball. McCorkle was in the way, and McCorkle's face got in the way of Weber's elbow.
And again, a foul 90 feet away from the basket is going to result in free throws for the Firebirds. We'll see if they can't take advantage of being in the bonus. I'll throw out a hypothetical to you quickly. Reed Mouse brought up a kind of an interesting point the other day, having the bonus per quarter. What's your thoughts on that?
I actually like it because if you're going to have a quarter system as opposed to a half,
right?
Why not reset?
Yeah, I don't mind it either.
So Weber comes to the stripe, front end of one in the bonus, no good, and Alex Mangold the rebound.
Oh, he turns it over.
It's turned it over. The shot, the bunny is missed by Fishman.
I'll tell you what, bunnies are being missed everywhere.
Oh, and a high screen set by Mangold. Johnson to the rack, missed the shot. Weber the rebound, and Fishman is down. He got decked hard by Mangold. And we saw a similar situation back in week 2. Mangold had to set a high screen against Princeton and knocked one of their men down for a couple minutes.
I'll tell you what, both of the coaches are absolutely fired up right now. You talk about a heated environment. East is begging for a foul for the layup, and West is begging for some kind of illegal screen, perhaps. Neither are pleased.
Well, at least it's not like the game that we saw is, both teams have a full complement on the court. It's not the game that we saw 6 weeks ago, week 2 here, where we did see a Princeton player, and I'm trying to remember the name, but it was Mangold who set a high screen, if you remember, right at the top of the key, and his man was down for a good minute after that.
Yeah, and it's hard to hear in an environment like this, right, when you're trying to communicate, hey, we got a screen at the top of the key. You don't hear that screen coming, and you're playing to guard your man. You find a guy like Mangold, you might hit the ground.
Lloyd has the ball, plays, Mackey draws a double, shoots from the short corner, his shot is blocked by Mangold.
Ooh.
Wow, Johnson with a fancy move into the lane. He kicks it out, and the ball is loose, and it's recovered by Mackey.
Got numbers down here for West.
Ahead. Here's the freshman to the rack. Trent Lloyd gets his first 2.
As the student section likes to point out every time a freshman makes a play, he's a freshman chant typically ensues.
Mangold has it top of the key. Adkins looking to dump inside. It's McCorkle, the bunny, he missed the shot. Lloyd the rebound, and here comes West down by 5.
West starting to get a little bit of momentum here. You can kind of feel it.
The ebb and tide of a ball game like this, and we had mentioned the last couple that we've seen one team go out to a quick lead and the other recover. And a steal. Kenrich up front. Into the lane, throws up the runner, and good. First 2 for Charlie Kenrich, 23-16.
That's a huge break right there for East. So just as soon as you thought West was going to kind of tighten this thing up, they had a turnover, and that lead grows again.
Lloyd dribbling the air out of the ball, dumps it off, and before anything else, we've got a whistle stopping play. Carter Combs had come out, and he'd been really silent, and apparently he had gotten fouled on the way to the hoop, and he did. Fouls on Charlie Kenrich, that's his first.
That'll be the team's 9th foul, so this will be the last time that they will be in the 1-and-1 situation. Double bonus follows, but with just a minute and 22 left, I don't know if that is going to come into play.
Combs is 2 for 3, actually, if you want to think about it from a percentage. 26 of 39 coming into this contest at the stripe. He misses the front end of one of the bonus.
Yeah, a couple front end misses there for West, and a couple empty possessions they'd like to have back.
Adkins has it up high on the right. Dribbles between the circles. Plays to McCorkle. Behind the arc, and a little hand check. It's going to be on the freshman Trent Lloyd. That's 17 fouls now against visiting West. Nate Johnson will come back into the ball game. The next one will be one in the bonus. With 1 minute to play here in this second period. 23-16. Johnson pointing out the offense.
Tell you what, if West is going to play a zone here, I would just hold this basketball until the last shot of the half, and you can guarantee yourself a pretty comfortable lead going into halftime.
West extending the 2-3 zone. Put the big man in the middle up towards the free throw line. McCorkle plays Johnson, and they're taking their sweet old time on this one.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's no reason not to.
A quick-moving first half here at Lakota East and a battle between neighbors. East and West.
This is kind of the difficult part for a team that likes to play zone. I'm not saying that's the case for West, but in high school basketball, maybe the biggest argument for a shot clock is teams that are good at playing zone deserve a chance to. Otherwise, you're going to have this happen.
10 seconds to play in the half. Johnson will get moving. Behind a screen by Mangold.
Step up on him.
5 to play. Stuck at the free throw line. The kick out. He threw it away. Now it's saved. And Coles will throw it up after the buzzer. And this first half has come to a close. As exciting as quarter number 1 was, that's how lackluster quarter number 2 was. Your score after one half here at Lakota East is the Thunderhawks leading the Firebirds 23-16. This is the game of the week here on Chatterbox Live. We're at the half. 23-16 is your score at a sold-out Lakota East High School. The Thunderhawks have a 7-point advantage over the Lakota West Firebirds. Along with Trace Fowler, I'm Geoff Kim. Thanks for joining us here for the game of the week here on Chatterbox Live. And we came in with some star power here in this one. As you see our two heroes, if you will, coming on into this ball game. And Trace, it's been a little lackluster from a scoring standpoint, but both have put their fingerprints here on this one so far.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you make a graphic and you assume these are the two guys that are going to be the stars and the makers that are going to be the difference of the game. And so far tonight, really, that hasn't quite been the case. But if you look at it really quickly, you got Nate Johnson, who's top 5 in the league in 3 different categories, averaging 16 points per game, which is good for 4th in the conference. He averaging 3.8 assists, 3rd in the conference, and then 2.4 steals, which is good for 1st. Then on the other side, you obviously have Julian Mackey, who, as we mentioned already, leads the league in scoring at 21.6 per game. So, 2 guys that have obviously had good seasons so far, leaders of their team, but ultimately, maybe the best thing about sports is there's no good script that always comes out to play, and we'll see which guy. Maybe it's Fishman that continues for West. Maybe it's someone even like McCorkle, perhaps, that plays a defensive role for East that might make a difference. So it's just it's a situation, though, for West, in my perspective. They got to find a way to put the ball in the basket.
Well, before we hit the scoring in this one, something that you had mentioned back in week 2, and this is in advance of our Princeton game, with Lakota East. East had played St. X prior to that, and Nate Johnson had 3 points in the first half, and so what does he do in the second half? He scores for 25. So, these things do change in a big hurry, and that is the case here. As far as the scoring breakdown here, unofficial stats here in this first half. Let's start off with, with the visiting team with West. 2 points for Julian Mackey, both for our free throws. 2 points for Bane Allen, 2 for Trent Lloyd. 8 for Tate Fishman, and 2 points for Brady Weber. Lakota West shot 36% from the floor in the first half, 5 for 14. 12 points unofficially for Jaden Coles in the first half to lead all scorers, though I don't know if that's quite correct. I don't think we had him quite for that high, but right now 5 for 5 shooting from the floor. Alex Mangold with 2. Caden Furman with 3. 2 points for Charlie Kenrich, and 4 points for Nate Johnson to wrap up the scoring. The 23 points for Lakota East. The Thunderhawks were 9 for 21 from the floor in the first half for 43%. So we had mentioned about Nate Johnson, who had been a prolific scorer in the early part of the season. His role has changed. He's much become more of a distributor. If you think about the last game that they had played against Sycamore, he only had 4 points in that ball game. 4. He did have, I believe, if I understand, 6 assists and 7 rebounds in that contest. So, he's still a big-time contributor. He's just not scoring as much as Alex Mangold has scored 34 points in the last couple of games.
And as long as they keep winning, then I don't think anybody in a team in white right now really cares, right? It's an atmosphere of trying to build a winning culture, and then sometimes you got to play your role, and that's something even Johnson did at the beginning of the season. Was you just got to play your role, find what your niche is in the team to help them win, and they've been doing a good job of that as they continue to win. And we'll see if West can't find their footing here in the second half.
Mackey has the ball, and away we go here in the second half as they go left to right. Combs has it out on the side, skip pass to the near side. Weber gets a touch and plays it back up on top. And the ball's stolen away. Furman up ahead of the pack. He lays it up and one.
We talk all the time, Jeff, about how the first 2 minutes coming out of halftime is such a critical time in a game. Could go pivotal either way, and East did a great job right there on that possession of forcing and extending their defense, and great steal, and even a good job of baiting them into maybe the foul at the end with the easy score, and see if he can't finish it off with a three-point play.
Holmes the foul. Here's the free throw. No good. The rebound to Alex Afari, who's the conference's leading rebounder at 8 a ball game.
That he is.
Here's Mackey into the lane. Lost it, got it back. Short covered jumper. No good. The ball's on the floor, and Coles draws a double. He'll throw it out for Johnson. Johnson ahead across half court. To the free throw line. He pumps 15. He missed the shot. Mangold the rebound, returns it up high, and they'll reset. Coles has the ball up high on the right point. Mangold inside Johnson. One-on-one in the lane. He missed the shot. He'll go to the line.
Yeah, kind of got Mackey pinned down there pretty deep. And like I mentioned before, and it's the same thing with Mangold in the first half. Anytime you catch a ball that deep, it's just so hard to stop somebody with the size advantage to score.
That's number 2. Johnson to the line. He makes the first. He had 4 first-half points. He's averaging 16 and a half a contest, but an overall good season, great season, borderline. 4 rebounds a contest, 4 assists a contest. Gets them both.
A little extended defense here by East.
And it's back to a double-digit lead in this contest, 27-16. Furman, beg your pardon, it's Fishman. Fishman nearly threw it away, saved by Mackey initially, but he's out of bounds out on the sideline.
And again, just things that can't happen for a team to come in, and I would consider it an upset if West were to be able to come in here, especially on the road, and beat a good quality East team. Those are the types of things that just can't quite happen.
27-16 is your score. Just about a minute and a half gone by here in this third.
Really just kind of an unforced turnover.
Johnson throws it away. Fishman plays. Combs, and can't get it to go. Johnson now up ahead. We got a foul. Furman to the rack, and he missed a shot, but it'll go to the line.
Yeah, Fari's got to be begging, asking himself what he's got to do right there not to pick up a foul. And I think sometimes it's just the way the game goes, and it almost looks like it's going to be a foul, and you just kind of get that automatic whistle. Not saying that's what's the case there, but certainly seemed like it. A lot of ball at the top of that play there.
Furman knocks home the first as Alex Afari picks up his third. So he's still in the game. We'll see if he comes out. And he will. Shane Gladisis, wearing the number 21, 6'3" senior, comes in. Furman to the line. He came in 18 of 24 at the stripe. He makes them both.
It's danger zone right now for West. Situation where they can't fall too much farther behind if they especially want to try to make a late push here, and that's not the way to start it.
Johnson gets it, and he draws the foul. Well, the troubling thing for West right now, as Mackey picks up his third, the troubling thing right now, Trace, is West just can't put the ball in the hoop. I mean, they've got fewer points on the board than there have been minutes in this game.
No, that's not a good strategy, is it, Jeff?
What's the old line from the movie Dodgeball? You know what I'm talking about.
I don't know if I do, but if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball is what I pulled out of that movie. That's about all I got there for you, Jeff.
So if you remember the character, and I'm trying to remember, his face is in my head. Jason Bateman is the actor. So he plays an analyst on the Ocho as we see a jumper from the elbow and good.
A little bit of the suction cup shot right there, if you will. Kind of like a back iron, smudged up against the back glass, and Mackey's fortunate to get a bucket there. And here we go with West. See if they can tighten this thing up a little bit.
30-18. So the line goes Bold strategy, Cotton. We'll see if it works out for them.
We'll see if it pays off. I hear you.
The jumper for Mackey, no good from 10.
Got
And
numbers,
here comes
Mangold.
East. And they throw down to Mangold. He can't get the handle. Too much traffic down in the paint area. And this is a similar situation to what we saw maybe perhaps a week ago with Alter. They had a lot of speed and height, but they would play occasionally a little too quick for what they really had on the floor. Here's a steal. Here's Johnson into the lane. Oh, a nice step through. He missed the shot, though. Fishman pumps at the free throw line, high-low. Gladys puts it up, no good. Rebound, put back by Weber. He puts it in.
Yeah, a lot going on here for not a lot of scoring.
30-20, back to a 10-point contest. Here's Mangold. He draws the double. He lays it in. Mangold's first field goal of the night to make it 32-20. Carter Combs, high-low for Weber.
Yeah, breakdown right there defensively by East. Weber just wide open in the lane.
Back to a 10-point contest. McCorkle, and they play to Coles. High-low for Mangold, who lays it in. (34-22) as we come up on the halfway point of this third period. Here's Mackey, stuck top of the key. Step back three. He missed the shot. The ball initially saved by West, but it's out of bounds on the sideline.
Tell you what, Mackey can create his own shot whenever he wants. He might not have made that shot, but I've seen him do that time and time again and put the ball in the bottom of the basket, and that's kind of why he really leads the league in scoring, is because he can create his own shot whenever he wants.
Well, that step back was a thing of beauty, just like the step through for Nate Johnson on the other side. The problem is neither were able to complete buckets.
Yeah, right. $1 million move, dollar finish.
West extends the 2-3 zone. Here's a three off the far corner. Knock it down. Caden Furman with the trifecta. Back to a 15-point game. The biggest lead of the ball game, actually. Here's a jumper for Combs. Missed the shot. Johnson has numbers. It. High-low.
What
Kendrick
a pass.
He missed the shot. And we got a foul.
They're going to call a foul here, and they said he might have bumped him on the head, but my goodness. You know, it's one of the situations where Johnson's seen just a sliver of a hole there as he passed half court. Made a nice step through to get his angle right. Made a good bounce pass and kind of set up that easy lay-in, but unfortunately, a foul stopped it from going in, and going to go to the line for two.
Fishman guilty of the personal. And Charlie Kenrich to the line where he is 2 for 2 on the season, and we may have just jinxed him knowing that he's perfect. He gets the first. We are somewhat wary of the announcer's jinx when you have great free throws shooting. By the way, the Jason Bateman character in Dodgeball, Pepper Brooks.
Okay. That just come to you, or was that some digging? Just came to you.
Just came to me. Got them both to make it 39-22. This is the biggest lead of the ball game at 17. Fishman.
A lot of dribbling going on for West. Not a lot of ball movement. Never a good sign for any good offense. Weber
has it up top. And plays to Malachi Irby, who saw some action in the first half. Gladys sets a screen for the ball handler. High-low. Gladys saves it on the baseline, drives to the rack. He goes, missed the shot charge.
Yeah, just a good job right there defensively by Nathan Atkins, just setting the screen, and wonder who he learned that from.
17-point contest here in this one. This one in danger of getting away from West. Irby has personalized pressure on Johnson. He gets a high screen at the half-court line. He kicks it out. Adkins has the ball. Content to run some motion. Trevor Howard back in this contest, throws it down to the corner. Kenrich into the lane, kicks it out. Here's a three on the corner, no good this time for East, but they get it back. Here's Johnson into the lane. He goes and scores. And a timeout. 41-22, a 19-point contest, the biggest lead of the contest for the home team, the Thunderhawks, and they are for real. They want to be number one in the conference.
Yeah, I mean, they're playing well tonight, and really vice versa. West isn't playing as well as they're capable of, and whenever that happens, you're gonna get a lopsided score, and so far tonight, that's what we've gotten. And I can tell you this much: the student section at Lakota East doesn't mind.
So as we're taking a look here at the screen, and if you're the home team, what are you saying here to up the lead? I mean, it's like and now we're seeing, of course, the visiting West team. What do you say to try to get back in this ball game?
No, you pretty much, if you're West, you got to try to disperse this thing in segments, as we've talked about before. Anytime you get down by 20 points almost, you got to try to win it by a certain 2-minute segment. So for the next 2:19, I would just tell my bunch in there, hey, we got to get 5 points back, get this thing down into the 15 range. And once we get in the 15 range, we're going to come out in the fourth quarter and we're going to try to get it within 10 with about 6 minutes left, get it within 5 with about 5 minutes left, and then all of a sudden you got yourself a ball game. Easier said than done.
Pressure on the entry. Quickly broken off. Irby will handle the ball. Comes up against Nathan Adkins. Across the half-court line. Spins into the lane. Puts it up. No good. And it'll go to the line. Well, I think that's one way to kind of create offense. Even if you're not going to score on the drive, you stop the clock and you get an opportunity to score without time moving.
Absolutely. Find your way to the line. Anytime, as you mentioned, good scorers do that all the time. You mentioned earlier in the game, Mackey finds himself at the line. And my biggest thing with quiet nights, you ever heard that? I mean, we all have heard that. Oh, it's a quiet 20 points or a quiet 30 points. Mm-hmm. More often than not, the quietness comes from the line, and they add up.
Well, it's funny. You and I had talked a little bit about this a week ago as Irby puts it up and makes one of two. So last week we talked about threes adding up quicker than twos. Well, if you're not scoring, ones still add up, and I think that's the point here.
Yeah, it's going to take like an avalanche of scoring here for West to get back in it, but
Howard
starts at the defensive end.
Looking for Kenrich, and we got a foul. With 1:54 left to play here in this third period. Irby picks up the personal. Should be his first. It is.
Selfishly, I'd like to see West make a run just to kind of get this atmosphere living up to its full potential all night long. We really haven't gotten that because it hasn't been too much of a basketball game for extended periods of time here.
Kenrich on the front end gets it. 3 for 3 at the stripe tonight. Made them both. It's a 20-point contest for the first time tonight. And full court pressure quickly broken off. Mackey on the stop and go. Pumps 3 straight on. It's no good. He can't find a shot tonight. Kenrich the rebound. Here's a stop and go. A wraparound pass by the ball handler. Cole's looking for nobody in particular, and it's kicked out of bounds by West. Alex Safari, by the way, is back into this contest. The throw in. Adkins keeps it on the outside. Howard had a massive game the last time we saw him. Coles throws it inside. Yeah. It's a kick ball.
I left almost just as impressed with Howard as I did Johnson, really. I mean, just a lot of deflections, and I had seen him a game before. I watched them play the Bombers of St. X there at the beginning of the season, and a lot of the same.
Here's a drive, the shot put up, no good by Caden Furman, and he has really turned it on offensively here in this third. Bane Allen picks up the personal.
Yeah, Furman's just kind of a solid body, 165, 6'3", guard forward combo. East is a tough out. I mean, they just are. And I'm not saying that, it's one of those things where I don't know if they're going to beat the brakes off of everybody, but they're certainly going to be a tough out for anybody they play.
Got them both. So Furman's got, as we do a quick count up, 12 points in this contest. 45-23. Irby down in the corner, stuck, and he stepped out of bounds. And that's how it's gone for Lakota West tonight.
Been a tough time out there.
Well, the hype and the anticipation of this one was huge coming in. Obviously, again, a sold-out house. Nobody's left the ball game, but that's part and parcel with it being a Friday night in high school basketball. Furman, a stationary dribble, has nowhere to go, picks it up, hands it off. Howard. Howard went 5 for 5 behind the arc the last time we saw him, 6 weeks ago.
Good job by East to really just kind of taking the air out of the ball here to end the period.
As we come up on 30 seconds left to go here in period number 3. Well, the pace of the game's been a little odd. It's slowed down because of the number of fouls and, to be honest, not a lot of stellar shooting at the stripe tonight. But when you see this, it quickens up the pace just a little bit. Here's a drive. Here's the kick out. Here's Adkins, a straight on 3. He knocks it down.
It's a great extra pass by Howard.
Here's a throw up front. Embry, beg your pardon, number 12, Bane Allen, from long range is no good. 48-23. After 3 here at Lakota East, the Thunderhawks are rolling. This is the game of the week here on Chatterbox Live. Just about set to get underway here in this fourth quarter, 48-23. The Thunderhawks are rolling. Along with Trace Fowler, I'm Geoff Kim. Thanks for joining us. It's the game of the week here on Chatterbox Live. Well, given what you and I have enjoyed the last couple of weeks, you know, the game at Alter a week ago, and then the game at Lakota West 2 weeks ago.
That's right.
I guess we were due for a blowout, and here we go with that one.
Are you saying we deserve this?
Well, maybe perhaps if you're the fans of the Lakota East and their student section all clad in orange tonight, they have been jubilant here in this one, and I have to say it's been nice to see. I think it bears mentioning, right? It's an orange out tonight, and it's in support of Dragonfly, the Dragonfly Foundation.
That's right. Great cause.
Ball nearly lost, but Mangold regains. McCorkle, beg your pardon, Coles, he draws a double, he kicks it out.
There's McCorkle.
There's McCorkle. He plays Furman, he throws it up, no good. Carter Combs in the lane, lost the handle, will stay up front. He drew the double and last touched there by McCorkle.
It's been a tough night for Combs. You know, he's a good player, and sometimes it's your night and sometimes it's not. And as you mentioned, man, this West team just got to find their footing somewhere, somehow. After that really tough loss to Oak Hills, it just has gone downhill ever since.
So you remember the score was at the half, 23-16, right? Seems like a long time ago, right?
Yeah, a lot of scoring for one team and not a lot for the other.
Correct, as East has outscored West 25-7 in the third period.
That's tough. I mean, what do you say about that other than just complete domination?
Weber on the drive. He draws a double. He pumps from 8 feet away. No good. And it belongs to Lakota East. Well, sometimes you're the windshield. Sometimes you're the bug.
That's right. Sometimes you're the hammer. Sometimes you're the nail. I don't know if can we keep going or no?
Well, we're kind of at the point of the ball game where we probably should keep going with that. Here's Johnson with the ball. Will stop and go to the lane.
That's gotta be
nearly
a travel.
traveled. He dumps it off. That shot is blocked. McCorkle had it rejected. Mackey throws it up front. He threw it away, intended for Afari. And even the wide receiver Afari couldn't catch up to that one down towards the end zone. Wrong sport.
I'm still trying to figure out how that went to travel on the other end, but that's here nor there.
Well, I think we're kind of at a point where the officials might want to see the clock continue to run. Just like what we would see in football with this kind of a margin.
Yep.
McCorkle has it, plays Johnson, pumps 15, no good. He's been cold too, and we got a whistle stopping play.
Looks like they got Mangold maybe over the back.
They did. That's his second. Here's Mackey. He draws a double initially, tosses it up front. Tate Fishman into the lane, goes up with the right hand, missed the shot. He'll go to the line. A little pretty move out there, coming down the alley, faked the pass, and then took it with the left foot and went up strong with the right hand, missed the shot. They'll go to the strike. And that's number 3 on Mangold.
Fishman's adding to his total tonight.
Well, Fishman really kept Lakota West in the ball game in the first half. He had 8 of their 16 first half points.
See if he can't find himself in double digits.
He does. He's got 10 in the contest to make it 48-25. Full court pressure, quickly broken. Here's Coles in the lane, dumps it off Mangold. His shot is blocked, but saved up front. Mangold gets it back, he scores. Mangold has 8, 6 of those points have come here in the second half, 50-25. Here's a drive and a score by Combs.
Wide open down at the other end.
Mangold will lay it up and in. And a timeout. Alex has 10 on the night, 52-27 with 5:58 left to go here in this contest. Well, this one's academic at this point. So
Yeah.
you want to look ahead?
Yeah, I mean, I look at anything other than what's been on the floor for the past, 24 minutes. I'd say will do my eyes justice.
Well, as we look at the schedules for both teams coming on up, obviously East and West tonight, and then a week from tonight, as East will get a break, they'll go to Mason. The following Tuesday, they'll be back here at East against Middletown, and to wrap up the month, they'll visit Coleraine. On the other side for West, they'll play at Dixie Heights next Wednesday, an odd middle-of-the-week game, not a Tuesday, not a Friday. And then on Friday, they'll be at Princeton. Following Tuesday, they'll be at home against Fairfield, and then they'll end the month against Middletown on the road.
Yeah, as the going's been getting tough there for West, it really doesn't get a whole lot easier. I'm not too sure of Dixie Heights. Perhaps that's one they can kind of break the streak on, but Princeton's not a bunch I'd like to play right now either.
Here's
showtime.
Here's Johnson all by himself. He'll put it home.
And just like that, West turns it over again, but my goodness.
Well, we needed a little excitement here in this ball game. Johnson off the high screen from Mangold. Prior to that, I think the biggest excitement that we had was the Mangold screen back in the first half. Here's a near steal and a steal. Here's Mackey. Well, take it to the rack.
A little up and down pace now. It's getting a little out of hand, but hey, I'm not here to complain.
They go back the other way. Mackey for 3, a long range shot. He knocks it down. 5 straight for Julian Mackey to make it 54-32. Mackey's got 9, and we got a reach in on Afari. I believe that's number 4 as he came in on the ball handler Johnson.
Wow.
Well, I will have to say this. If you're not going to be good, at least be interesting. I think that's an old adage in life.
What a beautiful term.
First free throw is good.
A lot of people that could use that advice.
Well, and I'm referring to the game, obviously. I mean, both teams have kids who are playing their hearts out tonight, and it's not a reflection on them. Sometimes games just kind of get away from you as Johnson makes them both.
Yeah, I think West is a better team than what they're showing as well. They've really had a couple bad games, but my goodness, we've seen them play Oak Hills, and this is what you might be able to see over the course of a game. They just kind of got themselves in too big of a hole.
Nathan Dudukovic hits from long range to make it 56-35. Is it time to talk about his sister?
who do we talk about? We talked about this last broadcast, the Dudukovic's. You talk about, as we get a time out here, we get a little bit of time to talk about it. Who do you talk about? Do you talk about the dad who played at Butler, who's a pretty damn good basketball player in his own right? Do you talk about mom, who's in the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame? Or you talk about the sister who scored 50 damn goals in one season and is, all Ohio soccer?
Well, I will have to say I am partial to the mom who does a great job of retweeting Chatterbox Sports.
Absolutely. She's a big fan.
So she's a big fan,
that.
And we are appreciative of that. But I think in deference to what actually goes on, it'd be nice to talk about the sister Kaylin, who is an outstanding scorer, hit the most important goal in the history of Lakota West soccer.
Yeah, I mean, it's been 20 years since they won a state championship, and really she put two in the back of the net when it mattered the most, as they were able to kind of squeak one out up there in Columbus, 2-1 against the Anthony Wayne Generals. And what an exciting game. I'll be honest, I'm not a soccer guy. JT's here, he's a big soccer guy, and I kind of felt bad that we might send him up to Columbus by himself, so I thought I'd tag along, and boy, am I glad that I went up there. That was an exciting time, and glad to see that Coach Reeder and the Lakota West girls soccer team were able to bring home a state championship back to Southwest Ohio.
As we get back to action, Tate Fishman picks up his second as he follows his literal opposite number in Caden Furman. So it's a double bonus here for Lakota East, as if they need another opportunity to score.
I think the only bonus we'd have tonight is if that clock kept running, as you mentioned.
Well, I think that's the beauty of high school football, that you have a running clock after a certain amount in the second half.
Yeah. Especially with the nature of football, of the physicality of the game. I definitely like that. Basketball, not as physical, so, hey, make them play it out. One of the beauties of baseball, as a coach once told me, was, hey, you can't hide behind the clock in baseball. You got to get all 27 of them outs. Otherwise, the game will never end.
Fishman missed the shot. Here's Johnson. 22-point ball game. McCorkle has the ball. Plays Coles. Draws the double up high on the right. High-low looking for Johnson. Down low on the left. He'll dribble back out. Checked by Fishman as he'll follow him back to the top of the circle. Halfway through this fourth quarter, 57-35. Here's Johnson to the rack.
That's what he does, Wes. He's just a great driver of the basketball.
15 for Johnson, and meanwhile they answer the other way. Mackey to the line and one.
You always assume Mackey's going to find his, you know it? That's what great scorers always do. They just find ways to put the ball in the basket.
9 of his 11 have come here in the second half. Foul is on McCorkle. That's his second. But back on the other side with Johnson, that was some abuse down the lane.
Absolutely. He's just a great driver of the basketball. Really strong, physical. Does a great job of the Euro step, even though he didn't finish earlier in the game. Man, he does a great job of utilizing that move.
Mackey's got 12, 59-38. Johnson draws the double at half court. He runs past. Into the lane he goes. Drops out for Mangold and one. Alex Mangold has come alive here in the second half. 10 of his 12 points have come here after intermission.
Yeah, and at this point it's just salt on the wound for the Firebirds. And
Neil Jessup, who's into this ball game for Lakota West, picks up the foul, and Mangold makes the bonus. Mangold has 13, 62-38. Mackey checked by McCorkle, tries to drive past him, drops it off, lost the handle, intended for Jessup on the sideline, and we get the other way.
Yeah, Mackey kind of wanted a back cut, and that wasn't the case. A little bit of miscommunication. It looks like some wholesale subs here for West, as they're going to kind of get some guys some playing time.
Down by 24, and they lost by 25 3 nights ago at a game. You know, it makes you kind of think that it might be you, Trace.
You think I'm bad luck for the Firebirds, do you?
Here's goals with a jumper, no good. I'm not saying, but I'm saying. Here's a jumper, rejected. Dukovic had one batted out to the sideline.
You saying that Dixie Heights might be calling for my services? What the hell is Dixie Heights anyway? Up in Dayton?
One would assume, right? Now there is a Dixie High School up in Dayton.
That's what I was going for. I didn't know if that was the same or not. But
and that's in the town of New Lebanon, as opposed to Old Lebanon or just plain Lebanon. Meanwhile, that's a second foul on Nate Johnson.
That's why Google invented Googles, so you can find out where Dixie Heights is.
Well, we have something better tonight.
JT is telling us that he thinks Kentucky. But
we're going with it.
That's what we're going to go with.
Jessup has the ball behind the high screen. Checked by a much taller Johnson. Dukovic on the floor. Pumps from 10. Shot put up. No good. He'll go to the line. Jaden Coles picks up the personal. His first. Team sixth. And Dukovic to the stripe. He is 8 of 14 at the stripe this year. He hits on the first. So speaking of Dukovic, of course his sister graduates and will head to the Ohio State University to play soccer. And I believe they have another brother coming on up behind Nathan. Much younger though, I believe.
Yeah, and Kaylin's a great basketball player, and it's crazy to think she scored 50 goals as a junior, and she's got one more season to play. Amazing, really.
62-40 with 2.5 to play. Drive by Furman. He throws up a runner, no good.
It's almost like Johnson's out there wanting to get one more chance at another throwdown.
And an airmail by Dukovic. Here's Johnson in traffic, in the lane, to the rack with a behind-the-back shot, no good. Jessup the rebound, plays to Dukovic across the timeline. They'll reset.
I guess that'll be the end of the night for Johnson.
Boyd has it between the rings, man defense. Sets a screen for Neil Jessup. He gives it up, he gets it back. Checked by Nathan Adkins, under 2 to play here in the ball game. Shane Gladys is back into the contest. Got a touch. Bane Allen, top of the key. Checked by Johnson. Spins in the lane. Goes to the up and under. Lays it up and in. Pretty move.
That was a great move. Good little hesitation. Pump fake. And got Johnson in the air. An easy lay in. And it's like Atkins going to take a timeout, huh?
Yeah. 1:35 to play in this contest. 62-42. A 20-point margin here by Lakota East tonight. They're going to improve to 12-2 on the season and 8-1 in the GMC. They are firmly in control of their own destiny to win a conference title.
Yeah, they're still. Fortunately for them, I was looking at their schedule as you mentioned. They don't have to go and play on the road at Hamilton this year, which is a help. Just kind of the way that the schedules flow. You don't play everybody twice, and fortunately for them, they played Hamilton here in their own house and won 34-32. I think, it's kind of like I don't want to say a 3-team race anymore in my opinion, but Princeton might edge themselves back into that mix. But you're going to have East, Oak Hills, Hamilton, and like I said, Princeton and Hamilton sitting there both at 5-3.
And how about
Mason's playing better, so it's one of those things where if Mason can knock East off, then you got Princeton still gets to play East again. Oak Hills gets to play East again. It's not a runaway quite yet, but definitely the Thunderhawks are in the driver's seat.
Only one loss in conference this year. They've been impressive, and when we saw them in week 2, I think, you and I, if we came in with blinders, those blinders were taken off. That's how good they have been, and the defense has been spectacular. They've given up just about 41, 42 points a ball game. They're right there at this point with 1.5 to go. Up by 20. Kenrich will dribble. Plays Coles, returns it up high. Adkins up high on the left. Plays down low for Kenrich. Low on the left. 1-on-1 against Bane Allen. Returns it up high. Trevor Howard with the ball. And now getting a touch is Mark Krajewski.
Fan favorite.
6-foot-tall senior. Under a minute to play in this contest.
That student section will go nuts if he can find a way to put the ball in the basket.
Travel.
I think they're just going to call a quick timeout, get the subs in. That's what that was about. So the ball's going to stay in East hands, but referees are saying they're not going to run the actual clock for the timeout. And here comes some seniors that I'm sure this student section across the way would like to see him put the ball in the basket.
Adkins has it. Howard gets a touch. Here's Kenrich up top. Krajewski, and now out to the corner. Adkins getting a touch. Krajewski throws it away. With 34 seconds left to go in this one. So it's funny, you don't see it on our screen here, but immediately to our right, the Lakota West fans have exited the building.
Yeah, they've seen enough.
You see East fans still exhorting their team. Lloyd dumps it off. High screen set by Allen for Dudukovic. Gladys outside the arc. And we got a foul. Kenrich came in on the ball handler with 15.8 left to go.
Did you file that under a good foul column or not?
I think if you're going to foul at this time of the ball game with this kind of a score, get your money's worth.
That's right. Get yourself in the scorebook as well.
Front end of one of the bonus, no good. No good for Bane Allen.
Here comes a shot from somebody that practices a lot.
Spicer got a handle. Krajewski, now Spicer had a corner, and will now kick it out, and now we'll hold on to it, and that's just good teamwork here. Your final tonight, it's a blowout here at Lakota East. The Thunderhawks roll 62-42 over Lakota West. East improves to 12-2 on the season, 8-1 in the GMC, and West falls to a record of 6-8, 4-5 in conference. We'll take a timeout and wrap this one up here at East. It's the game of the week here on Chatterbox Live. 62-42, the final here at Lakota East tonight. And a highly anticipated matchup between two schools that are 6.2 miles from one another. And it didn't go the way of West tonight as the home team, Lakota East, blew them out here on Wear Orange night. And they had an orange out tonight here for our game of the week here on Chatterbox Live. Along with Trace Fowler, I'm Geoff Kim. As we or at least we begin to start putting a wrapper to this one. Trace, this one was kind of ugly at the beginning, and you and I had seen similar games the last few weeks where one team would race out to an early score, a big margin, a double-digit lead, and back would come the other team. We saw that tonight. It just wasn't sustained by Lakota West.
Yeah, it did. You mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast, West coming off of a 6-game losing streak. The last thing you want to do is find yourself at a deficit right at the beginning. You kind of want to get some momentum, take the crowd out of it the best you could. You can't take this crowd out of it completely. But they jumped down at 7-0 right off the rip. They did fight themselves back to where it kind of felt like they were starting to get a little momentum, a little bit of stride, and they just had a couple turnovers. The next thing you know, that 7-point, they scratched their way to get all the way back to within 7. That 7-point deficit really ballooned right back up to 13-14 really quickly, and they just couldn't quite find their footing tonight. And again, we've made jokes about it. I still think that they are a better basketball team than what they have shown, especially the last two nights that I've seen them. And we'll see if they can't find their footing here and get back to winning ways against Dixie Heights.
Well, it's amazing how a team that's leading the conference in scoring at about 66 a clip, they lost by 25 3 nights ago against Hamilton. They lose by 20 tonight. And it's because, if you want to think of it this way, maybe perhaps by a lack of scoring. The defense is what it is, but when you're expecting to put in the mid-60s over to the 70s in scoring, you just... You can't win if you're just not scoring enough points to overcome that defense.
Yeah, I mean it's 42 points for them. They try to score 80. They're really half of what they traditionally score, and you can win scoring 42 points, but you got to play a really, really slow style of basketball, and you got to muddy the waters, and you got to play great defense, and that really wasn't the case tonight. Is the kind of the tempo was going up and down. It's just the shots weren't falling, and I would even say that really East didn't play their best game. I really don't think like East played their best game. Yes, it sounds crazy to say that they won by 20, but I really think they left some points still out there as well.
Well, that second quarter was ugly to watch, as you and I kind of watched 8-6 in favor in that quarter by Lakota East. In wrapping up the fourth quarter, believe it or not, West actually outscored East in the fourth by 19-14. So if nothing else, there's a positive for Jim Leon going into the next game to say, hey, maybe we can work from the fourth quarter and look ahead to the next game and work from that fourth quarter on.
Yeah, I mean, you're being nice about it. I think ultimately, when you're sliding as bad as they are, something good has to happen. And tonight, when you find yourself in a 7-0 hole right from the rip in a tough atmosphere, and you're playing against a crosstown rival, it's tough sledding, And it's a situation where there's an old quote, right? Winning is contagious, but so is losing. And right now, the losing is contagious for West.
And West has lost 6 in a row. Let's give you the scoring in this ballgame. For the home team, East. Lakota East improves to 12-2. They got 5 points tonight from Jared McCorkle. 7 points from Jaden Coles. 13 for Alex Mangle, who really came alive in that second half. 13 points for Caden Furman, who averages just about 3 a ball game, and he really did quite a job. Actually, beg your pardon, he averages about 11 a ball game, so he was right about at his average tonight. Nathan Atkins had 3. Charlie Kenrich had 6 points, and Nate Johnson had 15 points to wrap up scoring for the Thunderhawks. For the West Firebirds, Julian Mackey had 12 points in the contest. All but 2 of them came in the second half. 1 point for Malachi Irby, 2 points for Carter Combs, 4 points for Bain Allen, 5 points for Nathan Dudukovic, 2 points for Trent Lloyd, 10 points for Tate Fishman, who had the 3 points average coming on, and he got 10 points, most of his damage in the first half, and 6 points to wrap up scoring for the Firebirds for Brady Weber. 62-42 here in this one. As we said, the beat rolls on for East as they improve to a fabulous 12-2. And again, like you said, Trace, maybe they left some points on the board tonight, but when you win by 20, who's going to notice?
No one cares. No one cares. If you win by 20, no one cares really about any of your deficiencies. It's when you maybe lose by 2 or 3 or 4, and those get brought up. But nonetheless, good night for East, not so much for West.
Well, and unfortunately for us here at Chatterbox Live, they break our personal 2-game streak in which we saw games come down to the final shot. And unfortunately tonight it's a 20-point contest here in this one. So better hopes for week number 9. Your final thoughts as we put a wrapper?
I'm hopeful that we'll get a better basketball game the next time we come out. What a great atmosphere, though. And in all seriousness, great atmosphere. And the game didn't live up to it. But ultimately, this is why you fall in love with basketball, high school basketball specifically, in my opinion, is you get to find atmospheres as genuine as this, and it was fun. And unfortunately, like I said, the game didn't match it, but that's here nor there.
And a tip of the cap to the Lakota East student section. They really wore their orange perfectly tonight and really supporting their team in the win. So final there. Trace, hopefully we'll get a better one next week, right?
That's right.
All right, we'll see you, partner. Again, the final here in this one. 62-42 as Lakota East improves to 12-2, 8-1 in the GMC. Lakota West falls to 6-8, 4-5 in the GMC. They've lost 6 in a row. Thanks go out to our entire crew tonight: Ron Fowler, George Harmon, Jacob Harmon, Justin Thomas, and Kyle Evans. And again, catch us for week number 9. We'll give you a game. We'll decide what that is coming up next week. Be sure to log in to chatterboxsports.com for that one. For Trace Fowler, I'm Geoff Kim. Good night from Lakota East.